In the quest to build a stronger Europe, it's important that member states are perceptive and reactive to oncoming crises. The current activities happening at the Belarus, Polish and Lithuanian border are of extreme concern. At present, the Belarus border is being inundated with hundreds of thousands of migrants hoping to reach the safety of European nations. To better manage these flows, we must revise our position in our dealings with the Belarus government. Minsk, at the moment, is effectively instrumentalizing vulnerable peoples and families who are escaping economic hardship, oppression or war. It is vital that the European Union and our institutions do not succumb to this pressure by external threats. We at the European Union Institute for Security Studies believe that the current policies being undertaken by the Polish and Lithuanian governments are going a step too far. We must remember the rights that us as citizens and you as state representatives have in upholding European values at all costs. So we present to you our proposed solutions to the ongoing crises. These proposals aim to meet long-term goals and also sustainable measures in policy. I now hand you over to our Institute experts who will outline these solutions.
Poland, Lithuania and Latvia are refusing to provide migrants with decent living conditions at the border as well as medical treatment, but also refusing to let them ask for asylum is against European values, as laid down in the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the EU and the TFEU. New laws implemented by Lithuania and Latvia strongly limit asylum claiming possibilities. Indeed, the Lithuanian newly adopted amendments to the law on the legal status of aliens and the accompanying legislation remove, in the case of an emergency situation, significant safeguards in the asylum procedure, limiting the full examination of asylum claims, while also limiting appeals against asylum decisions. Moreover, pushbacks have been legalized by Polish legislation, the decree permitting border guards to return people who have made illegal crossings to the border through pushbacks. Poland should assess any claim for asylum lodged inside its territory, even outside official border crossing points, according to the Geneva Convention, the European Convention of Human Rights, and the Dublin Regulation.
In times of migration crisis, the Dublin regulation puts a lot of pressure on a small number of states. However, the new EU Agency for Asylum, building on the successful work of European Asylum Support Office during the 2015 migrant crisis, helps countries under migration pressure to assess asylum claims. Both Lithuanian and Latvian interior ministers decided in previous Justice and Home Affairs Council, GHA, to cooperate through operating plans adjusted to their needs. I called Mr. Brudzinski to ask for a similar plan at the next GHA Council. Moreover, based on Article 80 of the TFEU and further developed in the Effective Solidarity Compact of the new Migration Pact, Poland, Lithuania and Latvia should insist on the fair sharing of responsibility rule. Indeed, the new pact plans that in cases of force majeure, European member states can accept on their territory asylum seekers from member states in difficulty and receive EU funding in exchange. Cooperating with the new Asylum Agency experts, but also relocating asylum seekers throughout member states, guarantees not only cooperation and solidarity with states under pressure, but mostly the respect of the non-refoulement principle. Interior ministers should consider those proposals before the next GHA Council.
If the EU uses its funds to invest in infrastructure around the border and technology, such as cameras, drones, radars, sonars, equipped with artificial intelligence, it becomes easier to know when, where, and how many refugees cross the border. There are already a few EU tools in place to achieve this, for instance Frontex and Eurosur. The European Border Patrol and the European Border Surveillance System can help the Polish, Lithuanian and Latvian authorities with their expertise. The Commission has announced already that they are going to heavily invest in Frontex and that this can come to good use in solving the migrant crisis in the East. While in 2019 annual budget was 333 million euros, in 2020 it increased to 460 million. Much of this money went to the purchase of high-tech drones, and which can be very useful in the vast areas of the East European border. So by doing this, the Eastern European nations can be convinced of the fact that this is a European problem and that the border issues can be resolved standing together.
Poland, Latvia and Lithuania all share their borders with Belarus and deal with many refugees crossing their borders illegally. They announced they want to build a wall along their borders with Belarus. The building will cost more than 500 million euros. That is a lot of money and it won't even solve the problem. Refugees will still find routes to the EU. Several other countries, like Austria, Hungary and Greece, support the plan. But Commissioner Johansson stated that we have to avoid building a wall and that the Commission won't fund it. This raises a problem for the whole Union.
Our experts have outlined two solutions to one major problem. We must not jeopardize the safety and security of vulnerable people trying to access the European Union. We must uphold our institutional rights and commit ourselves to the obligations of human rights treaties that we have all signed to.